Hello, and welcome to Mario Meyham, where each episode consists of me looking over a certain Mario game and telling you a brief history over that game and my thoughts on the game itself. So for today's episode, I'm going to be looking over Donkey Kong Jr. So without further ado, let's get started. With Nintendo scoring big with Donkey Kong, it was inevitable that a sequel was coming out, and lo and behold, Donkey Kong Jr. was released just about a year later. While Namco's sequels such as Miss Pac-Man and Galaga looked to improve upon the original games, and those usually being better than the originals, Nintendo decided to do a new approach to Donkey Kong's sequel by doing a complete 180 with the series, with Mario being the villain instead of the hero, something we'd never see in any future Mario installments. This time he plays Donkey Kong Jr., who is, well, Donkey Kong's son. The goal of the game is to try to rescue your father, who is locked up in a cage by the evil villain, Mario, who is trying to kill you. So the question I have about this game is if this game is a huge leap from the original, or is it a giant step backwards? But before we get to that, let's talk about Donkey Kong Jr.'s development and plot. After the huge success of Donkey Kong, Nintendo immediately went to work in a sequel, which would become Donkey Kong Jr. Unlike the first game, there isn't much of the development history, with the game being released roughly a year after the first one was released, with it coming out on August 1st, 1982 in Japan, and North America on August 20th, 1982. Strange enough, the European audience won't be able to get a taste of this game all the way until June 15th, 1987, which was almost 5 years after the original release date. While this game wasn't as huge as the original game, it was critically praised by people and won several awards. Nintendo hit another home run with Donkey Kong Jr., and the character became almost as iconic as his father. But just like his father, Donkey Kong Jr. will be released on several different home consoles, and a spin-off game called Donkey Kong Jr. Math will be released on the NES, which would help teach young kids basic math while also playing similar to the original game. Fast forwarding to 1992, Donkey Kong Jr. made an appearance on the hit SNES game Super Mario Kart, which was a game that kickstarted another popular franchise that we'll get into another episode. Overall, Donkey Kong Jr. was another Hall of Fame worthy arcade game, just like its predecessor, and it made Nintendo a lot of money. So economically, Donkey Kong Jr. lived up to expectations, but as for me, do I think this game was a giant leap over the original, or was it a giant step backwards? Well, it's kinda hard to say since they're two different games, but I think this game was kind of a giant step backwards. The game wasn't really revolutionary in any aspect, and in my opinion, the game was a lot more frustrating and confusing compared to the original. I wasn't really a huge fan of the game. Now, do I hate this game? Absolutely not. I think this game is good, just not as great as the original game was. I still think it's a fun game with excellent platforming. I do have to give Nintendo a lot of credit as they tried something new rather than recycle the same exact game, like how most modern sequels are. But at the same time, I wasn't really too big of a fan of the new design choices. It's just not my taste, so, I do like this game, just not as much as the original. So for me, I'll give Donkey Kong Jr. an 84. It's good, it just doesn't live up to the original. Now, I was originally going to have my next episode on a much more obscure game out of the DK trilogy, that being Donkey Kong 3. But the problem is that the main character in that game is not Mario, but instead Stanley. So yeah, this whole series is supposed to be focused on Mario games, and Donkey Kong 3 is not a Mario game, so this game's not making an appearance in the series, I guess. Aww. So for the next episode, I'll be looking at Mario Bros, which will be the final arcade game for now, where the next several installments will be focusing on home console games. That's all I gotta say. This is Dib, and I'll see you next time.